Hello everyone, welcome to ArcBlock Technical Linear Series. Today I am going to talk about how to create decentralized applications that run on blockchain powered by Forge and works smoothly with our DID-based ABT wallet. Detailed topics in this talk are listed below. First, we will look at what makes an application. Then I will give you an overview of Forge SDK. And then we will talk about the basic DApp building workflow and Forge DApp starters. Finally, I will give you two demos on how creating dApps with Forge SDK, the complete toolset provided by ArcBlock. The first demo is bootstrapping DApp with Forge-CLI. You will see how easy it is to set up a new dApp with Forge-CLI. The second demo is a simple blockchain contract application built from the project generated from Forge React Starter that can work smoothly with ABT Wallet. Then what are dApps anyway? From technical perspective, we can give simple model of any application. They all consist of two parts, the state and the view. The state is used to generate a presentation of the view, and when the user interact with the view, it can change the state with some business logic. If you have ever developed any application in the internet, we can easily see that for application states, we usually store them in some persistent storage such as document-based database, MongoDB, or relational-based database such as MySQL or SQLite, or key-value-based database such as Redis. And for the application view, we can present application states in various formats that the user can interact with, such as a web app, a native app, or desktop app. We can even provide a hybrid view layer for the user. But what does an application or decentralized application looks like in the blockchain age? Most of the parts are similar to they are in the internet age. For the state part, applications need to consider storing some state on the blockchain. In this context, the data are replicated accurately on every node on that chain. And for the view part, application need to support users who are using crypto wallets, which are very different from traditional username and password solution. And ArcBlock provides a complete solution for building dApps that runs on blockchain. For the state part, we provide the ABT node, which supports various kinds of transactions that can be used to store application state on the blockchain. Besides, this can make the application state public verifiable. And on the view part, ABT Wallet supports user providing any kind of profile to the application without exposing his or her privacy. When building applications with ArcBlock technologies, developers just use whatever they are familiar with when developing internet applications, such as the database adapter or view layer frameworks. But when reading and writing data from or to the blockchain, in our business logic, we need some tools to help us do that. This is where Forge SDK comes in. Forge SDK is published to ease the data writing from or to the Forge-powered blockchain for developers. When we zoom out the application view a bit, we can see that all internet applications are isolated. Each application has their own state and view. They do not share anything. Users in this application cannot reuse anything to this application. How about applications built with ArcBlock technologies such as ABT Node and ABT Wallet? With ABT Node, developers can develop many apps on the same public variable database. And what's more, they can easily build dApps that can interact with dApps running on another Forge-powered chain. And with ABT Wallet, users can take back control of their own data. It's also a protocol that all applications use. And that's enough for mental concepts of dApps. We have mentioned that Forge SDK are critical when creating dApps. What are Forge SDKs anyway? We can define them as a collection of developer toolkit to connect your dApps with Forge-powered blockchain. And Forge SDK wraps low-level functionality into easy-to-use library and API for developers. Currently, we support Elixir, Python, Java, and JavaScript SDKs, and more languages are on the way. Since JavaScript is the most widely used language when developing front-end applications, the later part of this talk we will focus on JavaScript SDK. Here is a brief overview of components included in Forge JavaScript SDK. From bottom up, this layer, most atomic layer of Forge JavaScript SDK, or upper layer packages are built upon this layer. This layer includes basic protocols that are needed to make apt wallet and apt node work, such as crypto-related, message type-related, and DID-related packages. Packages in this layer can be used to complete simple tasks on apt node, such as creating a wallet with Forge Wallet and encoding and decoding messages sent or received from apt node with Forge Message, and doing basic user authentication with DID auth. Packages in this layer will be used frequently by developers. We provide both GraphQL client and gRPC client for developers to talk to apt node. We also provided some UI components that can be used across dApps. Packages in this green layer are tools published by ArcBlock, such as Forge-CLI and Forge Web App. They play an important role in everyday developer life, such as maintaining local apt node with Forge CLI and explore data on local apt node with Forge Web App. Here is a basic example with Forge JavaScript SDK that creates a user on apt node. We are using mCrypto and Forge Wallet and GraphQL client packages in this example. First, we create a GraphQL client, then we generate a random wallet called the send-declare transaction API from the client with the wallet, and then we can see the transaction hash as the result. Since time is limited, we will not go through every detail of Forge JavaScript SDK. Here is a list of resources that can get you started and dig deeper with Forge JavaScript SDK. We have open source Forge JavaScript SDK source code, which can be found here, and we also crafted a collection of examples, GraphQL client and gRPC client, such as creating users, creating wallets, and do exchange or transfer on the chain. And we also generated a detailed API reference for all our published JavaScript packages. What are the major concerns when building dApps? We need to decide where to store application state. Should we store them on-chain or off-chain, or a hybrid solution? How do we handle user registration and login? How do we manage session and authentication? How to redirect user across different pages within the application? And how do we render application state into pages? We may use a template engine from the server side, or just use a view layer framework in the browser. And here is a sample decision of building dApps with Forge JavaScript SDK. For the storage layer, we can use MongoDB to store part of our application state, and we can use apt node to store part of our application state. We can use both of them to store the off-chain part and the on-chain part. We can also just use the apt node to store all our application state on the blockchain. And for user management, we can just use the DID auth library and the apt wallet. And for session management, we can use JWT token-based authentication. And for the routing part, we can leverage existing server-side frameworks such as Express.js. And for the view layer, there are many options for us, such as React, Vue, Angular, or just Markdown. And here are the basic steps of building dApps from scratch. The scratch here means we set up a new application project from zero. First, we need to set up a database instance if it's required by the app. If the app is not storing any data on non-blockchain database, this step can be ignored. Next, we need to set up a Forge-powered apt channel, or we can just reuse a public test chain set up and running by ArcBlock. Then we need to generate an application account and register that application account on the chain our app will be running. And next, we need to pick a project skeleton from our favorite framework such as Django, Express, or some other frameworks. Then we need to set up API to handling DApps requests, and we need to set up the user interface to accepting DApps requests. We need to set up session management between the front end and the back end. And the final part is creating pages for app workflow. That sounds really tedious for developers to start their dApps from scratch with Forge SDK. This is why we are building Forge Dapp starters. We need to provide developers a very easy way to starting dApps. And what are Forge Dapp starters? They are just Forge project boilerplates that can help developers set up new applications with just a few clicks. They eliminate repetitive and tedious steps required when starting a new Dapp project. This should be a good starting point for most applications that run on Forge-powered blockchains. Most of Forge Dapp starters are built on top of existing application frameworks in different languages. Currently, we have Forge React Starter for JavaScript Forge SDK, and in future, we will support many languages as possible. Here are the simple steps to get up and running with just one command. First, we need to install Forge-CLI and Forge React Starter as our templates. If you had played with our Forge-CLI, you can safely ignore the first 3 steps. The second step, we need to install the latest Forge release. At the timing of this talk, it's 0.27.3. And next, we need to set up a local node. And then we can just create a new project. And then we can start that project. Here are key libraries included in Forge React Starter. We have built-in DApps-based user management and built-in JWT token-based session management. We have built-in support for deploying application pages and APIs to Netlify with 0 cost. And we are using Next.js for creating pages on the server side, Material UI for reusable React components, and we are using Express as a custom web server that can serve all APIs in development, and we are using Mongoose as the database ORM layer. Now let's get started. First, we need to install Forge-CLI and Forge React Starter using npm. Since I have installed, then I need to start a local apt node. I use Forge start. Then we can use Forge create project and specify a project folder, and this yes means we use all default configuration for the new project, then hit enter. We can see that the application config is printed here, and the files are created, and the application account are declared. Application config also generated, then the dependencies are installed automatically. Then we can change to our project folder and just start that project. When you see this, we can tell that our application is started. Now, let's exit full screen mode. Adjust the window size to show screen our apt wallet. Let's open the application in the browser. We can see that the Forge React Starter comes with 2 groups of demos inside. The first group is about reading and displaying on-chain data in your application. The first one is reading application state. We can see that this is our application account. And the application state is printed as a JSON. Other example like a chain state and block and transaction, we can see that in the latest block, there is a declare transaction, which is the username is Forge React Starter. The transaction is generated when creating this application. And then the second group of examples need to go through this apt wallet. Let's try it now. The right side of the screen is the apt wallet on my Android phone. Let's open the apt wallet here and press the scan button in the bottom center. And then we can select the profile in the apt wallet we want to provide to the application. And slide to confirm, we can see that we are redirected to our profile page. On that page, we can see our address on the chain and the profile information we provided to the application. Then, to do later tests, we can click Get 25 TBA. Then scan the QR code with apt wallet again and send this transaction. Now we can see that our account balance is 25 TBA now. Then we can go to the payment page. This example demos how easy it is to integrate the payment feature by apt wallet. This is a document that requires user pay 5 TBA to unlock. We click this Make Payment button and scan with apt wallet again. It prompts us to provide 5 TBA. Then we slide to confirm. And the document is unlocked. The source code of Forge React Starter can be found here. You can feel free to open pull requests or creating issues. And that's for the first demo. Then let's move on to the second demo. The second demo is about a blockchain contract signing application built from Forge React Starter. The basic workflow of block contract application can be illustrated in the following picture. A user can create a contract in the application with the full content of the contract and the signers of the contract. Then when the contract is created, the application sends emails to each of the signers. When the signer receives that email and click the link in that email, it will redirect it back to the block contract application, and they are showing the QR code to sign the contract. When they scan that QR code with apt wallet, he can slide to confirm to sign the contract. When all signers have completed the signing, the contract is marked as complete, and the block contract application will create an asset on the chain. And that asset will be publicly verifiable for all users. For privacy concerns, the block contract application will not store the whole content of the contract on the chain. It just stores a hash and the signer's DID and the signer's signature on the chain. Next, let's start the application with yarn start. It started on port 4040. First, we need to log into the block contract application using apt wallet. Click login on the top right corner, and then scan the login QR code with apt wallet. Provide the email to the application, and then we are redirected to the profile page. We can see that here the contracts created by me, signed by me, and pending for me to sign are all listed here. We can create this create contract button and creating a new contract. And for testing purpose, the contract signers, we can just input myself. Then create contract. Now if I am one of the signers of the contract, when I open the detail page of the contract, we can see that here we have a sign contract button. Click this button, we can see a sign contract dialog. Scan the QR code in that dialog in and agree with the contract. Select to confirm. And now we can see the contract is signed because all of the signers in our demo, it's just me, have signed the contract. And each of the signer account details can be inspected on the block explorer on the chain. The block contract application is running, and the contract is stored on the blockchain. We can just click this button. This button is only clickable when the contract is fully signed by all the signers. We can see that this is an asset. This is the address of the asset. This is the title. And when we click this transaction to view the details, we can see that the details of the contract are written to the apt node on the blockchain. We can see the signatures list consists of who have signed and what's their when is signed and what's their signature, and the data hash of the contract. Now return to the profile page. We can see that the created contract consists the contract I created just now. And this is the second demo of DApps running on Forge SDK, apt node, and apt wallet. From these two demos, you can see the full potential of ArcBlock technologies. And Forge React Starter is a good starting point for most JavaScript DApps. You can see the live demo here. It's deployed on Netlify. Or you can check out the source code here. And we are working on more starter templates, such as Python and Alexa. And it is very easy for you to write up your own starter, since Forge project follows the starter spec defined in the Forge React Starter project. And that's all. Thank you.